Picture this. You're 52 years old. You walk into a meeting room where you've worked for decades, but something's different. The younger colleagues don't make eye contact. Your ideas are dismissed before you finish speaking. Your experience is suddenly irrelevant. When did this happen? Here's the terrifying truth. There's an invisible line society draws around you. Cross it, and you become a ghost in your own life. Simone de Beauvoir called it the dangerous age, but it's not what you think. What if I told you this moment isn't random? Studies show that at exactly 50, society begins the slow process of erasing you. Your voice gets quieter, your presence shrinks. But here's what's truly sinister. You don't even notice it happening. Beauvoir discovered something that will shake you to your core. This isn't about aging, it's about control. It's about keeping you small, invisible, and compliant. But what if you could see the trap before it closes? What if everything you believe about getting older is a carefully constructed lie? Here's what they don't want you to know. Old age isn't real. Wait, what? Beauvoir spent years dissecting this lie, and what she found will make you question everything. See, we've been programmed to believe that becoming old is as natural as breathing. But here's the mind-bending truth. Different cultures have completely different definitions of when you become worthless. In ancient Greece, philosophers peaked at 70. In Japan, respect grows with age. But in our society, you're disposable the moment you can't keep up with the latest app. So who decided 50 is the magic number? Beauvoir discovered that old age is nothing more than a social construct, a tool designed to shuffle inconvenient people off the stage. Think about it. Why do we celebrate a 25-year-old CEO but dismiss a 55-year-old with the same idea? Because experience threatens the system. Here's the paradox that'll blow your mind. The same society that worships youth desperately needs wisdom. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every solution to our biggest problems comes from accumulated knowledge. Yet we've created a culture that throws away its most valuable resource. But why would we do something so obviously self-destructive? Because keeping you small keeps others in power. When you believe you're past your prime, you stop competing, you stop questioning, you stop demanding what you're worth. What if everything you've been told about aging is designed to control you? Let me show you exactly how this machine works. Because once you see it, you can never unsee it. Have you ever noticed how it starts with tiny cuts? At 40, they stop asking for your opinion in brainstorming sessions. At 45, you're overqualified for positions you could do in your sleep. At 50, suddenly you're not a cultural fit. Each cut is so small, so subtle that you blame yourself. Maybe I'm just not keeping up. But here's what Beauvoir realized. This isn't accidental, it's systematic. The media bombards you with anti-aging ads, making you feel defective for existing in your own skin. Tech companies design interfaces that favor digital natives. HR departments use coded language that screams too old without saying it. And the most insidious part? You start doing their work for them. You begin sentences with, "I'm probably too old for this," but you step back from opportunities before anyone even rejects you. You become complicit in your own erasure. Why does this matter so much that you need to hit that like button and subscribe right now? Because understanding this pattern is your first line of defense. When you can see the machine working, you can jam its gears. Every person who wakes up to this reality becomes immune to its power. But there's something even darker happening here. The prophecy becomes self-fulfilling. Society tells you you're declining, so you start looking for evidence. Your memory isn't what it was. Must be age. Tired after a long day? Getting old. But a 25-year-old with the same symptoms, just stressed. What if your decline is actually society gaslighting you into believing you're broken? Now we get to the real question. Who benefits when you disappear? Follow the money. Follow the power. Here's what Beauvoir uncovered that'll make your blood boil. Your invisibility is someone else's opportunity. When experienced workers step aside, younger employees get promoted faster, for less money. When seasoned voices go quiet, inexperienced leaders make decisions without challenge. But it goes deeper than corporate greed. Think about this. What scares a 30-year-old more than anything? Looking in the mirror and seeing their future. So they create a narrative where older people are burdens, has-beens, irrelevant. It's psychological self-defense. If I can make them disappear, maybe I'll never become them. The beauty industry alone makes $532 billion annually selling you the lie that aging is failure. Fashion brands target 18 to 34 demographics, making everyone else feel invisible. Social media algorithms favor youth, literally programming older voices out of conversations. But here's the conspiracy they don't want you to see. While they're telling you to act your age and step aside for the next generation, they're simultaneously terrified of losing your knowledge. Every company that pushes out experienced workers then hires consultants, the same people they just discarded, at premium rates. They want your wisdom without your presence. Your experience threatens their narrative that new equals better. Your perspective challenges their assumptions. Your confidence intimidates their insecurity. So they've created an entire system designed to make you voluntarily remove yourself from the game. What if the very qualities they're telling you are weaknesses are actually your greatest strengths? The wrinkles that show you've lived, the scars that prove you've survived, the wisdom that comes from making mistakes and learning from them. What if they need you to disappear because they know you're more powerful than they are? Simone de Beauvoir didn't just identify the problem. She created a roadmap for revolution. And what she discovered will completely flip your understanding of power. Here's her first radical insight. Stop playing their game. While society obsesses over staying young, Beauvoir said, embrace becoming. She refused to apologize for her wrinkles, her gray hair, her accumulated wisdom. She understood something profound. Authenticity is the ultimate rebellion. At 60, when the world expected her to fade away, she wrote some of her most powerful work. At 70, she was still challenging governments and changing minds. She discovered that the moment you stop trying to be what society wants, you become unstoppable. But how do you actually do this? Beauvoir's blueprint is deceptively simple. First, reject their timeline. Society says you peak at 25? Nonsense. Your brain doesn't stop growing until you die. Your capacity for wisdom increases with every experience. Their timeline is designed to limit you. Second, redefine value beyond productivity. The capitalist machine measures worth by output. But Beauvoir knew that your value isn't what you produce. It's who you've become, the patience you've developed, the perspective you've gained, the bullshit you no longer tolerate. Third, use your invisibility as a superpower. Here's the beautiful irony. When society stops seeing you, you become free. Free from their expectations, free from their judgments, free to speak truth without worrying about career consequences. Think about it. What could you accomplish if you stopped caring what they thought? Beauvoir realized that society's dismissal isn't punishment, it's liberation. The moment they write you off is the moment you can write your own rules. But here's the most powerful part of her blueprint. She understood that aging authentically isn't about accepting decline, it's about choosing growth. Every day you choose curiosity over cynicism, you win. Every time you learn something new, you prove them wrong. What if your greatest chapters are still unwritten? This is where everything changes. This is where you stop being society's victim and become its teacher. Here's what Beauvoir knew that will set you free forever. The same society that's trying to erase you desperately needs what you have. They need your perspective to solve problems they can't even see. They need your experience to avoid repeating catastrophic mistakes. They need your wisdom to navigate the chaos they've created. But here's the beautiful twist. You don't need them anymore. You've paid your dues. You've played by their rules. You've earned the right to live on your own terms. And that terrifies them more than anything. So here's your call to revolution. Stop asking for permission to exist. Stop apologizing for taking up space. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. The world told you to step aside. Step forward instead. Use your invisibility as your secret weapon. When they don't see you coming, you can change everything. When they underestimate you, you can surprise them. When they dismiss you, you can prove them catastrophically wrong. I want you to do something right now. If you've made it this far, you're already part of the resistance. You're already questioning their narrative. Write unstoppable in the comments below, because that's exactly what you are. You've just spent these minutes rewiring decades of programming, and that takes courage. But here's the final question that will define the rest of your life. Will you choose to age as society's victim, shrinking smaller each year until you disappear? Or will you choose to age as a revolutionary, growing more powerful, more authentic, more dangerous to their system with every passing day? Because here's Beauvoir's ultimate truth. They can only make you worthless if you agree to it. The dangerous age isn't when society decides you're worthless. The dangerous age is when you start believing them. Your revolution starts now. What are you going to do with it?